Today, we're going to learn about the human brain.
Before we jump right into it, I would kindly ask you to subscribe for the channel to stay updated.
The human brain is one of the most powerful and complex organs in our body. It controls everything we do, our thoughts, emotions, actions, and even how our body works without us thinking about it. Today, we'll learn about its structure, how it works, and why it's so amazing. Anatomy of the human brain. First, structure. Let's begin with its size and weight. The brain weighs about 1.2 to 1.4 kilograms, that's like a small bag of rice. It's about the size of two fists put together. What makes up the brain? It's 75% water and 60% fat, so it's one of the fattiest organs in our body. The brain has billions of neurons. These are special cells that help send and receive messages. Second, major divisions of the brain, cerebrum. This is the largest part of the brain. It's responsible for things like thinking, remembering, and talking. It has two halves, called hemispheres, connected by a bridge called the corpus callosum. Each half has 4 lobes. Let's learn their roles. Frontal lobe, think of this as the decision maker. It helps us plan, solve problems, and express emotions. Parietal lobe, this helps us feel touch, pain, and even know where our body parts are. Temporal lobe, this lobe helps us hear, remember, and understand language. Occipital lobe, this is where we process everything we see. Cerebellum, this smaller part at the back keeps us balanced and coordinated, like when we ride a bike. Brainstem, this part connects the brain to the spinal cord and controls life-saving functions like breathing and heartbeat. Third, protective layers. The brain is well protected because it's so important. First, we have the skull, a strong bone that surrounds it. Then there are 3 soft layers called the meninges, and inside, a special fluid cushions and keeps the brain safe. Functions of the brain, explained through relatable scenarios. Cognitive functions, memory. The hippocampus is like a library for memories, while the prefrontal cortex helps us recall them when needed. Learning, our brain changes and adapts when we learn new things. This is called plasticity. Emotion, the limbic system helps us feel happy, sad, or scared. The amygdala plays a big role here. Language, Broca's area helps us speak, and Wernicke's area helps us understand language. Sensory and motor functions. The sensory cortex lets us see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. The motor cortex helps us move, like when we wave or walk. Autonomic functions. Some parts of the brain work without us even thinking, like the hypothalamus, which controls hunger, thirst, and sleep. Energy consumption. Did you know the brain uses 20% of the energy in our body? Even though it's only 2% of our weight. It runs on glucose, a type of sugar from the food we eat. Development and plasticity. When we're babies, our brains grow very fast. Later, new neurons still form in some areas, like the hippocampus. Plasticity means the brain can adapt and recover, like when someone learns new skills or recovers after an injury. Diseases and disorders. Sometimes the brain can get sick, like in Alzheimer's, memory problems, or Parkinson's, trouble moving. Mental health is also important. Conditions like depression or anxiety affect how we feel and think. Brain imaging and research. Scientists use machines like MRI and CT scans to look inside the brain. These tools help us understand how it works and find ways to treat problems.